Trigger warning. Ghosts, ghouls, and gruesome stuff ahead. It's weird, it's dark, it's your kind of vibe.
Welcome to Haunted and Homicidal, the podcast where true crime meets the paranormal. I'm Lauren.
And I'm Courtney. Every week we uncover the terrifying, the twisted, and the totally unexplainable. Lock your doors and grab your sage.
Because things are about to get haunted and homicidal. Hey guys.
What's up?
I have to make sure this is right because it should be. It sounds like we're okay, right?
Yeah, sounds right.
Okay.
I'm grabbing it. Me?
I guess we'll do ASMR since we have the stuff right now. Oh no.
Misha ASMR.
Crunchy green beans. You ready? Alright, you know the drill. Come here.
What do you buy these?
Sam's.
That's such a good one.
It's my ASMR girly. I remember when she used to be terrified of the mic and she did not want any part of it. Now she gets right up on it. She puts her whole mouth on it. She knows the drill. She's such a good girl. Anyway, hey guys. We're going to go ahead and just get into it because like the last episode was so long. Sorry, not sorry.
But first, a word from our sponsor.
Yes. Hauntfest. Hey guys.
What's up?
We are going to talk to you about something called Hauntfest. Super excited. We are partnering with them for all of their little events. So, Hauntfest is crawling back from the darkness, bringing more mayhem, monsters, and madness each year.
Step through the gates and into a fully immersive world of horror art, live music, spooky vendors, themed entertainment, and eerie activities lurking around every corner. Depending on the event, you may find axe throwing, trivia, animal encounters, rage rooms.
Ooh.
I need to do a rage room. Photo ops, food and drink, ghost stories, freak shows, hay rides, haunted attractions, and more. Some locations even feature camping, after-hour parties, and other exclusive surprises.
Our characters, awesome name by the way, that is so cute.
I know, right?
Roam the grounds hunting for fresh screams. If you're easily spooked, grab a Ghoul Gone Glow bracelet at the gate to help keep the beasts at bay. Which is cute. You know, people have like autism and stuff and their little or kids are scared. I love that they do stuff like that.
My old roommate wanted one for when we went to Terror on the Coast.
Nice. So yeah, Hauntfest, they're taking everybody into consideration. Pre-sale tickets start at a killer price. For the full nightmare experience, upgrade to the RIP Pass for exclusive perks. Season passes are now also available, granting access to any Hauntfest event throughout the whole entire year.
Whether you're a thrill seeker, a horror fanatic, an Addams Family, or simply dead inside.
That's me.
Like Lauren. Hauntfest is where Halloween never dies.
This is my jam.
Slip on your monster skins and join us for a weekend of scares, screams, and unforgettable memories.
Join Hauntfest at the 2026 premiere of Death March at Trim Tab Brewing Company in Birmingham, Alabama. The thrills begin at 2 p.m. on March 7th and 8th, with the event ending at midnight on Saturday and 8 p.m. on Sunday.
And then Hauntfest is back for its 4th annual Athens, Georgia event, April Ghouls, at Terrapin Beer Company on April 11th and 12th, 2026 at 2 p.m. Throw on a costume and boogie at our new Dead Man's Party from 10 p.m. to midnight on Saturday.
I'm loving all these names.
I know,
it's great.
right?
Hauntfest returns to historic Hopkins Farm in Simpsonville, South Carolina for a September to Dismember on September 25th and 26th from 5 p.m. to midnight on Friday and 2 p.m. to midnight on Saturday. Hopkins Haunted Attraction will feature a sneak peek walkthrough haunt for the event, which will open at 7:30 p.m. each night and is included in your festival entry ticket. A September to Dismember will be a full-fledged weekend festival with vendors, live music, themed entertainment, and much more. Prepare for a dead man's party.
This November, join us for some post-Halloween thrills at the premiere of HauntFest Harvest of Horrors at Bobby Brown Park in Elberton, Georgia. The magic begins at 5 p.m. on the 6th and 2 p.m. on the 7th, continuing until the clock strikes midnight. Camping, yurts, movie screenings, bouncy houses, and more are offered at this venue. If you're a raging psychopath,
I am.
sign up to sleep in our night terrace camping area where our ghouls can creep around your tent after hours until 2 a.m. on Sunday morning.
That sounds so fun, guys.
To take a first look at the venue, come to our free On the Water Sink or Swim horror movie promo event on July 25th. For more information, to get involved, or to buy tickets, visit hauntfest.net.
Guys, do it. Okay, love you. Bye.
Do it.
Gonna be a good time. Y'all go. Please go. Like, go in our stead and be like, they send their regards. Mm-hmm. Okay. There, yeah. I want to go so bad, but it's just not in the cards for me this year. I mean, maybe like later, like the December-ish one. She loves her green beans. So today's shouldn't be too long. Maybe. We'll see.
How long is yours?
11.
Bitch! Okay.
It's not 37 though, so.
Okay, so I have the Tower of London.
Okay.
So, it was built by William the Conqueror in 1078. It is a complex of multiple buildings set within 2 rings of walls, built to keep intruders out.
Okay. I mean, most towers, I think, are either built for that or like to kind of watch, like for enemies and stuff.
Yeah. Kings made several expansions during the 12th and 13th centuries.
Okay.
It has played a significant role in the history of England.
Okay.
It's been a treasury, public records office, an armory, the royal mint's home, and the home of the country's crown jewels.
Okay.
Although there have been a lot of modifications in additions to the tower, the original layout of the building remains. And the country's history will be incomplete if the tower is not mentioned.
Okay.
The tower has been besieged several times.
Okay.
Kings and conquerors believed that to control the country, the tower must be conquered first.
Okay.
They said, tower must go first.
I mean,
and then we have the whole country.
I would have gone with like the king or the queen, but whatever.
They
tower.
They said a tower.
Tower.
So during the 15th century, the castle was used as a prison. However,
Okay.
the peak period of the castle's use as a prison was in the 16th and 17th centuries.
Okay, so a very long time ago.
Yes.
Okay.
Elizabeth I was one of the many prominent figures held captive in the tower. The use of the tower as a place for what?
I'm trying to think of who Elizabeth I is. Continue.
The use of the tower as a place for captives popularized the term, quote, sent to the tower. Although there has been a lot of talk and a pervading belief that the tower is a place of death and torture, only a total of 7 people were executed within the tower, a figure which is low compared to other places. So the executions were commonly held on the notorious Tower Hill on the castle grounds. In 400 years, 112 executions took place on Tower Hill.
Okay.
John Taylor and Anthony Salvin restored to what they believed was its medieval appearance. They cleared out most of the vacant post-medieval structures. During the 2 World Wars, the castle was again used as a prison and 12 men were executed for espionage. The castle was severely damaged during Blitz in the Second World War, but it was repaired and opened to the public.
Okay.
Today, the castle is cared for by the Historic Royal Palace, a charity, and protected as a World Heritage Site.
Okay.
So now we talk about the ghosts.
The ghosts.
So during its 900 years of existence, the Tower of London has earned the reputation of being one of the most haunted places in the UK.
Okay.
So, first ghost, Thomas A. Becket. He's one of the first ghosts seen in the tower. So, when the inner curtain wall was still in construction, Thomas seemed to be very unhappy about it and reduced the wall to rubble with the strike of his cross.
Okay.
The grandfather of Henry III was said to be the reason for Becket's death, so he built a chapel in the tower for the Archbishop.
Archbishop. Thought Fucking bitch.
People believe that Beckett was pleased with the chapel's construction because no further interruptions were reported after the incident with the inner curtain wall. He said, okay, I like it now. I'll be okay. Next ghost is Arabella Stewart. She's one of the castle's most famous ghosts. She was once seen as a potential successor to Queen Elizabeth I. It's said that her ghost stays in the Queen's house on Tower Green. According to records, she married the nephew of Lady Jane Grey, William Seymour. The marriage was thought of as a threat to the crown, and it did not have the permission of King James I. Okay. She was put under house arrest at Lambeth while her husband William was sent to the Tower. She plotted to get William released to travel together to France. However, William missed the rendezvous.
Oh, no.
She set sail all alone, but she was recognized and sent back, this time to the Tower. William, on the other hand, made it to freedom.
No.
She stayed there until she died in 1615.
So why did he miss the rendezvous? Did he have, like, different plans? Cause
it didn't say, just said he missed it.
He missed it, but he managed to get to freedom, and she got captured.
So, yeah, so he was probably late, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. Well,
and she's like, nah, I can't wait no longer.
She should have fucking waited.
So she stayed there until she died in 1615 in the Queen's house at the age of 39. It's believed that she was murdered in the castle.
Okay.
Next, we talk about Anne Boleyn.
Mm-hmm.
The most persistent of all ghosts in the tower is that of no other than Queen Anne Boleyn. She was married to King Henry the Eighth. She was arrested and taken to Tower Green and was beheaded on May 19th, 1536. Several sightings of Anne have been reported. She appears close to the site where she was executed and has also been seen leading a procession down the aisle of a chapel. Several people have reported seeing her headless body walking the tower's corridors.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we have the young princess. So the Bloody Tower is a place that conjures up horrible images. There's a story of the two young princes, Edward V and his brother Richard, who were declared illegitimate by Parliament and sent to the Tower. They were often seen playing happily around the grounds, but suddenly vanished and were never seen again.
No, thank you.
It was assumed that they were murdered by order of their uncle, the Duke of Gloucester. Two skeletons, believed to be the children, were unearthed beneath the staircase in the White Tower.
No.
The ghosts of the children are often seen wearing nightgowns, clutching each other in terror in the castle's rooms. They are also heard throughout the tower. And what? And then you have the White Lady ghost. The White Tower is one of the oldest and most foreboding buildings and an eerie haunt of the White Lady.
Racist.
She was said to have stood once at a window waving to little children at the building on the opposite side.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Leave children out of it. I'm tired of hearing about the children.
They're not even ghosts. She's just waving to them.
I don't care. I don't like it.
Her cheap perfume fills the air upon her entrance to St. John's Chapel.
Cheap perfume. They're like, it's not even good perfume.
And then you have the violent entity.
Oh, no.
So guards of the tower have reported having a terrible crushing sensation upon entering the place where King Henry VIII's impressive suit armor is exhibited.
Okay.
A guard patrolling the ground reported a sensation of someone throwing a cloak over him. And when he tried to free himself, the cloth was seized from behind and pulled tightly around his throat by an unseen attacker.
Okay.
And you have Tower Green specters. So the prize for the strangest supernatural encounter in this area goes to a rifleman found collapsed outside the king's house in 1864.
Okay.
So, court-martialed for neglecting his duty, the soldier defended himself by stating that he had been approached by a white figure. He challenged the figure to step away 3 times with no response. So he charged at the figure with his bayonet, only to pass straight through.
Okay. I'd have been like, no, thank you, and I would have just kept running.
It was apparently confirmed by 2 witnesses who had watched the incident from a window in the Bloody Tower.
And they saw the white entity also.
I think so, yeah.
Because it'd have been real fucking hilarious if they didn't. They were just like, what is this fucking crazy person doing?
And residents have reported being shaken and even pulled out of bed by ghostly figures. In one account, a bed was tipped up.
They're going to hold your hand and drag you up a wall.
And then you have Henry VI in the Wakefield Tower. So each year on May 21st, a mournful figure is said to stir among the ancient stones of the Wakefield Tower, part of the medieval palace. Some say this is the ghost of Henry VI, the king who lived under the shadow of his father and possibly died on the orders of Edward IV. Henry ascended the throne as an infant and ruled during one of the most turbulent periods in English history, the Wars of the Roses. Gentle and pious, Henry was ill-suited to the brutal politics of the time.
You better hand over them green beans.
On the night of May 21st, 1471, by tradition, Henry was murdered while praying in the chapel of the Wakefield Tower.
See, she's so gentle when you're giving her that stuff, but like when you first get here and give her a snack, she's so excited.
Though official accounts claimed he died of melancholy and excess of black bile, many believe he was killed on the orders of the king.
Wait, he died of what?
Melancholy and excess of black bile. That's what it says.
Excess of black bile?
Yeah, he
like have like the plague or something?
Probably.
Let me look up what that. I don't know what black bile. I mean, I know like it would be like tar-like bile, but I don't know what that.
Since then, an eerie legend holds that Henry's ghost returns each year on the anniversary of his death. At around 11 p.m., his spectral form is said to appear pacing solemnly through the Wakefield Tower. He apparently then fades slowly into the stone, vanishing until the next year's vigil. And you have the Phantom Bear. So, at least one living bear has prowled the Tower of London, a white bear given as a gift to Henry III for the royal managerie in the 1200s. Okay. According to one Victorian tale, the apparition of a fearsome bear is said to haunt the tower grounds. This phantom bear is allegedly so terrifying that it's responsible for the death of a soldier who collapsed after one encounter in the 19th century.
He had a heart attack?
Yeah. According to one dramatic account, while resting in his quarters in the Martin Tower, the jewel housekeeper was startled by a mysterious apparition. Before his eyes, a cloud of smoke took the shape of a, quote, a pyramid of dark, thick gray with something working towards its center.
Okay.
In a panic, he threw his chair at the figure, but it passed through and struck the wall behind. Oh, no, it wasn't a heart attack. He got stabbed. Hearing the commotion, a frantic soldier attended the scene, only to be attacked by the figure himself. The soldier died just 2 days later. Or wait.
Like the bear stabbed him?
Oh, no. No. The ghost, I guess, gave him a heart attack.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, how did the bear stab him? I'm confused.
And then you have the Salt Tower ghost.
Okay.
So the medieval salt tower has been used to store salt and to hold unfortunate prisoners. Mm-hmm. Its most famous inhabitant was the Jesuit priest John Gerald, who was imprisoned and tortured here in 1597 during the reign of the Protestant Elizabeth I. Gerard recovered from his ordeal to make a daring escape from the tower and record his experience. His account of the horrific torture used to force him into giving up his Catholic contacts makes difficult reading.
Okay.
With such visceral stories associated with the imposing salt tower built in 1230s, it is perhaps unsurprising that people have felt their senses heightened in this area. Yeah. In 1957, 2 guardsmen reported seeing a, quote, shapeless white form high on the roof of the salt tower. Then in 1973, a human warder reported seeing a glow from a prison chamber before feeling something touch the back of his neck.
No.
Even now, some human warders say that dogs refuse to enter the building. The dog said, fuck that.
Yeah, dogs are smart. Like, come on. Like, if a dog ain't going in, I ain't going in.
And then last we have Lady Jane Grey, also known as the 9 Days Queen. She was a teenage monarch caught in the deadly politics of Tudor succession. After being deposed by Mary I, a terrified Jane was imprisoned in the Tower and executed in 1554. She may have been as young as 17 when she died. Her ghost is said to appear at the tower on the anniversary of her death, walking silently along the battlements.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Queen Mary I next episode.
This apparition has apparently been seen by 2 guardsmen as recently as 1957. On February 12th, the 403rd anniversary of her execution, a white shape was seen, quote, forming itself on the battlements.
Okay.
Well, that is it on the Tower of London.
Okay, so now we're going to get into, like, I guess a adjourning story, because a lot of the people she talked about in her story are in mine. Yeah. And it's like a completely different scenario. So we're going to talk about one of my most favorite legends, one of the spookiest ones that actually kind of scared me when I was a kid, Bloody Mary. And like everybody knows what Bloody Mary is.
You know, the mushroom dog's hot now.
Like they don't know who Bloody Mary is. They know like the whole kind of rhetoric behind the going into the bathroom, you know, and saying her name.
Did you ever do that?
Oh yeah, that's why I said it was like one of the most terrifying things in my childhood. And it was kind of like one of the things that like made me realize that I fucking love a good scare. And I'm like so into like paranormal and haunted stuff. So, Bloody Mary is a legend of a ghost, phantom, witch, or spirit conjured to reveal the future. It's kind of not widely agreed on what she is or even who she is. Like, there are 3 main characters that they think this is based off of. She is said to appear in a mirror when her name is chanted repeatedly. The Bloody Mary apparition may be benevolent or malevolent, so either good or evil, depending on historical variations of the legend. So it just kind of...
when is she ever good?
Yeah, that was like one of the things that I was like, I've never heard of her being good. But again, it depends on historical variations of the legend. So in America, she's like inherently evil. In other countries, it might be different. And Bloody Mary appearances are mostly witnessed in group participation. You know, when you're having a slumber party, your friends are like, go in the bathroom, name Bloody Mary. You know, that's just when you do it. You don't normally do it when you're alone. Like, you go into the bathroom alone, but it's normally when you're with other children, other friends, at like a slumber party or a birthday party, spending the night and just...
I don't think I ever did that.
What, by yourself or just at all?
Just at all.
Oh, yeah, no, I did. Oh, I did. So, the origins of Bloody Mary. Again, there are several possible figures from history who might be the, quote, real Bloody Mary. So the very first and most popular with the most evidence and most research is Mary Tudor, Queen Mary I of England, which we just learned about. Yeah. That I am related to. Not her specifically, but I am related to one of her stepmothers. 2 of her stepmothers, actually. By blood.
Take these away. They're addictive.
I know, that's why I buy them. So she became known as Bloody Mary because she burned about 200 Protestants alive during her reign.
What?
Yeah. Born on February 18th of 1516 in the Greenwich Palace in London, England, to Henry VIII and Catherine of Aragon, Mary seemed an unlikely candidate to be queen, let alone a bloody one. Her father deeply desired a male heir and spent Mary's childhood doing whatever it took to get one. Mary's early years were largely defined by Harry's determination to have a son. When she was a teenager, the king scandalized Europe by declaring his marriage to Mary's mother illegal and incestuous, only because she had been married to his brother briefly. So it wasn't incestuous. There was like no blood relation between the two, but because she was married to his brother, he claimed it as an incestuous relationship. And then he mentioned his intention to marry Anne Boleyn, who is one of the ones that I am related to by blood. He divorced Catherine, married Anne, and tore England away from the Catholic Church, establishing the Church of England instead. According to the Smithsonian Magazine, Mary was declared illegitimate, made a, quote, lady instead of a princess, and separated from her mother. I'm going slowly. She stubbornly refused to acknowledge that her parents' marriage had been illegal or that her father was the head of the Church of England.
She said, fuck that.
Yeah. Over the years...
What did it say?
You are annoying.
What did it say?
You are annoying.
Bitch, fight me. Come at me, bruh.
You are annoying.
I will fight your invisible ass.
So over the years, Mary watched as her father married again and again and again. I think he ended up with like 6 wives. It was...
Damn.
What was it?
You're gonna make me remember this shit.
Sarah.
No, not Sarah. It was like...
Ancient.
I don't remember, but it was like...
Rosary beads.
Oh my god. I don't know.
It said rosary beads last week.
Like, some of them died and he beheaded some of them. Only one of his wives survived, and it was Catherine Parr.
Yeah. The last one.
I don't know. We'll get there.
Catherine.
Yeah, Catherine.
Catherine Howard was the 5th one.
So I'm related to her. So the 2nd and the 5th one. Because Catherine and Anne Boleyn were second cousins.
Yeah.
So after executing Anne Boleyn, he married Jane Seymour, who died in childbirth.
Come back.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Henry's 4th marriage to Anne of Cleves was short-lived and ended in divorce, and he executed his 5th wife, Catherine Howard, who I'm related to, on trumped-up charges.
Do you know?
Yes, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Only Henry's 6th wife, Catherine Parr, outlived him, had given some time, she probably wouldn't have.
Yeah.
However, despite all of that, Henry had finally gotten what he wanted. Jane Seymour, she died during childbirth, but she did produce a son, Edward VI.
The only one he loved.
Yeah. When Edward died just 6 years into his reign, he tried to ensure that power passed to his Protestant cousin, Lady Jane Grey.
You I mentioned earlier.
But,
Sad.
yeah, Mary seized her opportunity and led an army into London in 1533.
Coffee.
I already drank it. A groundswell of support put her on the throne and Lady Jane Grey on the executioner's block.
Which is terrible because she was so young.
As queen, however, Mary I developed her, quote, Bloody Mary reputation because she was just killing people.
She was a bitch.
As queen, one of Mary's most urgent priorities was returning England to the Catholic Church because, again, remember, her dad stepped away. She married Philip II of Spain,
Yes, you're annoying.
quashed a Protestant rebellion, and reversed many of her father and half-brothers' anti-Catholic policies. That is not right.
I'm about to say. What?
In 1555, she went one step further by reviving a law called heretic comburendo, which punished heretics by burning them at the stake, like witches. According to the Smithsonian, Mary hoped the executions would be, quote, short, sharp shock, and that they would encourage Protestants to return to the Catholic Church. She thought just a couple of executions would do the trick, telling her advisors that the executions should be, quote, so used that the people might will perceive them not to be condemned without just occasion, whereby they shall both understand the truth and beware to do the like. So she's like, if we kill like 3 or 4 of them, the rest of them will be like, oh shit, I'm next.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
No, it didn't work.
It was way more than 3 or 4.
It didn't work.
Way more.
But Protestants were undeterred. And for 3 years, from 1555 until Mary's death in 1558, almost 300 of them were burned alive at her command. The victims included prominent religious figures like Thomas Cranmer, the Archbishop of Canterbury, and Bishops Hugh Latimer and Nicholas Ridley, as well as scores of normal citizens, most of whom were poor.
Yes,
I mean,
they were robbed of their lives.
go figure. Why? I don't know why she didn't like Protestants.
She said, fuck
This
them.
happens.
It does happen, yes.
She told me.
She did. Well, tell her to come tell me, because that's like my cousin, sister, something. I don't know. Cousin by marriage, 47 times removed. I don't know. As history notes, the Protestants' deaths were meticulously recorded by a Protestant named John Fox in his 1563 book, The Acts and Monuments, also known...
Message for you.
Okay.
What's
Also
the
known
message?
as Fox's Book of Martyrs, he described the death of Protestant martyrs throughout history, complete with illustrations. He said, they brought a faggot kindled with fire, and I had to look up what that was. Because I'm like, why would he say that? Especially,
Are you a friend? I don't know. Are you a friend?
maybe. Like, especially in the 1500s, but basically
Yeah.
it's just a bundle of, like,
Yeah.
weeds or something that they light on fire.
Yeah.
Kindled with fire and laid the same down at Dr. Ridley's feet. Fox wrote of Ridley and Latimer's brutal executions, to whom M. Latimer spake in this manner, quote, be of good comfort, master. Ridley and play... Be of good comfort, Master Ridley, and play the man. We shall this day light such a candle by God's grace in England, and I trust shall ne'er be put out.
It's supposed to be never.
No.
Well, I know, but for them,
Oh, yeah, it's supposed to be never. And this was also supposed to be spoke, and this is light with an I and fire with an I.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't know how to spell, and I was like having... Shut up. I was like having a stroke.
Mine said, I'm stuck. Yours said, come here.
I was having a stroke
You were.
writing this. I was like, ugh. And then even more of a stroke trying to read it.
I'm ill.
What? Well, go to the doctor. I don't know what to do.
Speak.
Bitch.
I think they're talking to each other.
Leg.
Y'all done?
Okay. Mary's scourge of Protestants left a lasting legacy. After her death, it earned the Queen the nickname, quote, Bloody Mary. But that's not the only reason why some believe that Queen Mary I is linked to the legendary Bloody Mary story. So she unfortunately had
See you.
a tragic pregnancy.
Fire.
Alleged Bloody Mary sightings in the mirror often describe the ghost as having a baby or looking for a baby. In some variations of the tale, summoners can taunt Bloody Mary by saying, "I stole your baby" or "I killed your baby." And there's a reason why that would get under Queen Mary I's skin. Alongside burning Protestants, Mary had another priority, getting pregnant.
You're back.
Told you they're talking to each other.
At 37 years old when she took power, which was kind of old for the 1550s,
Yeah.
so it's like really old, Mary was determined to produce an heir during her reign, but things took a twist. Though she announced that she was pregnant just 2 months after marrying Philip, and by all conceivable measures appeared to be pregnant, like her stomach was growing,
Yeah.
she was having morning sickness, all of the things about having a baby. Mary's due date came and went without a baby. According to Refinery 29, I think that's like a magazine or like...
Who the fuck is Brittany?
It's Britney, bitch. Which is like a magazine or something. Rumors spread in the French court that Mary, quote, had been delivered of a mole or lump of flesh. So it's possible that she had a molar pregnancy, a complication known as hydidiform mole. So, like, it's not a developing baby.
Oh,
Yeah.
but she got like bigger and stuff.
Yeah,
than she
because
was.
because it's still a pregnancy. It still acts like a pregnancy, but there is no
But there's
growth of a
nothing-
fetus.
but
There's
there's nothing
nothing.
there.
It's
Okay.
just like that clump of cells. So basically, and it doesn't say like when this happened, if it
Mhm.
happened before, and then people were just kind of like waiting on the due date, and it came and went, and there was no baby, and you don't know if she carried it to term, and then when she did deliver it, it was just
The great.
a clump of cells. We don't know like how long she carried, but by all recollections, and people who were alive during that time were like, yeah, she looked pregnant. She was growing, and it wasn't like she was getting fat. Like she was getting a pregnant belly.
Yeah.
So there's like a difference.
No way.
When Mary died in 1558 at the age of 42, which is also really old, possibly from uterine or ovarian cancer, she unfortunately died without a child. So her Protestant sister, Elizabeth I, took power instead, cementing Protestantism's place in England. So all the work
Mary did.
that
Yeah.
Mary did, Elizabeth was like, LOL, fuck you, fuck your legacy, I'm changing shit back. So, meanwhile, Mary's enemies made sure that she became known as Bloody Mary, though the Smithsonian notes that her father had ordered the deaths of as many as 72,000 of his subjects, and her sister Elizabeth went on to hang, draw, and quarter 183 Catholics. Mary was the only one deemed bloody.
Well, damn.
So another possibility of who Bloody Mary is, her name is Mary Worth. The details are hazy on this one, including whether or not she even existed.
Yeah.
So she is described as a witch who would allegedly put children under her spell, kidnap them, murder them, and then use their blood to stay youthful. Think hocus pocus, but not
Yeah.
with blood.
Yeah.
And when people in her town found out, they reportedly tied her to a stake and burned her alive. Then Mary Worth screamed that if they dared say her name in the mirror, she would haunt them. Like, why? Why? Is that something y'all just did? Like, you stand in a mirror and say somebody's name? Like, that would never be something that I would even, like, consider telling somebody, don't you stand in the mirror and say my name. Like,
Lauren.
like, what? I mean, that's like Beetlejuice, like, what? However, the Lake County Journal writes that Mary Worth was a local of Wadsworth, Illinois, not England, who was part of the, quote, reverse Underground Railroad, which is fucking sick. I had to look up what the reverse Underground Railroad was, and I immediately regretted it.
What is it?
So instead of bringing slaves to freedom, she was sex trafficking and killing them.
What the fuck?
She'd bring slaves under false pretenses to send them back down south and make some money. Bob Jensen, a paranormal investigator and leader of the Lake County's Ghosts and Society, told the Lake City Journal. Jensen explained that Mary Worth tortured and killed escaped slaves as part of her, quote, witchy rituals. Eventually, the local townspeople found out and killed her, either by burning her at the stake or by lynching her. But again, there's like no proof of this. No proof of this at all. And so, number 3, and like my absolute favorite person in the history of forever.
What?
Elizabeth Bathory.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Okay.
I don't know. She's like one of my favorite stories. So
Okay,
she
weirdo.
she was a Hungarian noblewoman and was charged with killing at least 80 girls and young women between 1590 and 1610. It is very interesting, and that's why I like the story.
Why the fuck is she your fucking favorite? Why? What?
I don't know. She's not like my favorite person. She's just like one of my favorite stories because it's so fucking crazy.
Okay.
Especially how she was able to get these girls, because the vast majority of these girls were royalty. They were princesses.
Okay.
They were ladies. They weren't just poor paupers. They were people of value, of worth, that were entrusted to her.
Okay.
And she snitched them.
Okay.
I don't know. This is like one of my favorite things.
Okay.
I don't know why. Rumors spread that she subjected them to sickening torture, sewing their lips shut, beating them with clubs, and burning them with hot irons. Now,
What the fuck?
think about Lalaurie.
Yes.
This is the kind of shit that they said she did to the slaves. These aren't slaves, but this is the same. And she is loosely based, the AHS version is loosely based on part of this. Because remember, she's sitting in the mirror painting blood on her face.
Okay.
Blood of the slaves.
Okay.
Allegedly, she even bathed in their blood in order to maintain a youthful appearance. One witness claimed that Bathory's trial that they'd seen a diary in which Bathory recorded her victims. There were not 80 names on the list, but 650.
Good Lord.
Inferior.
Okay.
Yeah, 80 is inferior to 650. I agree. For that reason, Bathory seems like a fair candidate for Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
With that said, those defending her argued the charges against her were fabricated because the king owed her late husband, a debt. So the king made all this up, which is why this story is so fascinating to me, because they're saying she did all this shit, but there's no proof of it. There's no proof of it other than noble men and women being like, yeah, she did that. That's what she did. I saw it. Or did you? Did you see it? It's just fascinating to me.
Okay.
So now we're going to talk about the ritual of Bloody Mary.
Don't do it.
It is usually performed by prepubescent teenaged girls during their cycle, when they first start menstruating. This is typically when this is one of the things.
This when you did yours?
I was probably 12, 13, around that, yeah. But again, this is kind of another of the theories of why it's called Bloody Mary, because it's usually females who are menstruating.
Okay.
So the participant enters a darkened room lit with the candle, usually a bathroom with a fairly large mirror.
Mm-hmm.
They look into the mirror while chanting Bloody Mary's name or a specific phrase a set number of times, usually 3. If the ritual is performed correctly, Bloody Mary appears in the mirror, reaches out of the mirror, and scratches the participant's face, or is released from the afterlife to haunt them forever, but can only be seen in mirrors.
Okay.
So other versions include the mirror dripping with blood, the participant's hair turning white forever, or the participant just fucking vanishing. And there are so many witness testimonies about Bloody Mary. I didn't see fucking shit when I was in the bathroom, man. There was nothing in there. I was scared as fuck, yes, but I didn't see anything. So there's that. So yeah, this one's a short one to kind of balance out Monday's episode. I would apologize, but I don't want to lie to you guys. So there's that. Yeah, but again, thank you all so much for listening to us and showing us love and support, of course. As always, you can find us. Muffin is just meow. There's closed doors and he doesn't like it.
I'm coming, Muffin.
Patreon.com/haunted and homicidal. What is it, baby? And again, subscribe to the free tier. Doesn't cost you anything. And if you subscribe, that kind of helps us out, because that way we can kind of track who's listening, and where you're listening from and things like that. Facebook.com/haunted and homicidal. You can see like the neat little hotels or towers or inns or bridges or
I did that fucking bridge.
what is the what is it called? It's not a tunnel. The screaming tunnel. Yeah, and so you can see like all these little cool, neat little things like the hotels.
I was not doing that fucking
No, we're not doing the bridge, but like the hotels and stuff, they're fucking beautiful. The majority of them, and so
Biltmore House is not a hotel.
It's a hotel.
It's not a hotel.
It's a hotel. I don't even care. I don't even care anymore. It's a hotel. Fuck it.
Not a hotel.
But that's where we post all of our pictures, the pictures that we take of us, doing the recordings or whatever. It's being stupid because that's what we do.
Yes.
And then email us, your own stories, please, suggestions. I really, really, really want to start a listener tale, either paranormal or true crime of things that you guys have experienced. Even if you feel like no one's going to be interested or it doesn't sound that great, send it to us. We want to read it. And again, that's hauntedandhomicidal@gmail.com. Check out Haunt Fest.
Yes.
I'm
Fest.
definitely going to see where the ones in the later part of the year are and see if maybe we can't get out to one because we got several months to save for it. I'm thinking like the December one that gives us 8 months. We should be able to swing that, hopefully. You should, because you'll be out of your obligation in September.
Yeah.
So you'll have spare money, to kind of stock up a little bit. I don't know if I will. I might. I don't know. But we're going to try. So if we do make it, we will definitely give a shout out, show you guys some pictures, and encourage you to go, which we're encouraging you to go now. Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye.